another video. I know I don't normally vlog a whole bunch, it's not really my thing here, but I know Vlogmas is starting and I definitely think it would be a lot more fun to start actually interacting with my audience on YouTube instead of just kind of hiding behind the camera. So I wanted to do a little something called the Get to Know Me tag. So hopefully you guys can learn a little bit more about me and maybe you can share in the comments a little bit more about you so that I know who you are and what you guys like to see. So without further ado, I'll get started. So this tag has 30 questions, so I'm just going to go one by one. Some of them are pretty basic, so hopefully this shouldn't be too long. Lord knows I am not the most vocal person, so let's get started. The first question is, what is my middle name? My middle name is Ray. My full name is Brianna Ray. I actually do choose to go by Brianna Ray, as much as my channel name is BriIY. I actually don't like being called Bri. My favorite color is green. Specifically like dark emerald green, though a lot of my Instagram and clothes would suggest that it is a pink, more like this one. Third question is, who is my first best friend? My first best friend's name, well, I actually have two. Oh no, I'm trying to go back. When I was in kindergarten, I went to a different school district and my first friend's name was Brianna, like mine, except it was spelled with a Y. How tall are you? I am 4'11". The fifth question is, cats or dogs? I like both. I have a lot of them. My sister has 2 dogs. My mom has a dog. My dad has 2 dogs. I personally have a cat. Funniest moment throughout school. Okay, that took entirely too long, but I think I finally thought of one. My senior year of high school, when I was in high school, I was really big into choir and theater and musicals. The cast list was going to be coming out on a Friday, and it was a Thursday. And I was, a friend of mine were in study hall during 10th period. So what we did was we actually printed up a fake cast list for an entirely different show. We didn't even do the same show. I think our senior show was How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. We printed up a fake cast list for Beauty and the Beast. And everyone knew that was not the show, and we did some really interesting casting. Question 7 is, how many countries have I visited? I have visited 3 countries, including, well, I live in the United States, specifically in Ohio. I have visited Canada. I have family that lives up there, and I have visited Bermuda. Question 8 is, are you in or have you gone to college? Yes, I have. For many years. I'm actually in a graduate program. I've gone to Bowling Green State University for 5 years now. The first 4 were for my undergraduate degree, and I got a Bachelor of Science in Education, specifically on English education, with a minor in English. So integrated language arts, including journalism and, gosh, yearbook, some theater classes. I was a theater minor for a while, but I ended up not going through with that just because of scheduling conflicts and whatnot. But now I am back for my master's degree, and I'm actually graduating at the end of the year with my master's degree in reading education. What was your favorite and worst subject in high school? My favorite was probably English. Oh gosh, can you hear that train? My favorite subject was probably English. I think I liked it enough that I continued. Non-academically, I really liked my choir classes, of course. We did actually have an in-class time that we met for my show choir. And my worst subject was probably history. What is your favorite drink? Probably lemonade. I think I drink that the most. But I have a ridiculous tea collection that I actually wanted to do a video on because I think it's a little obscene at this point. What is my favorite animal? I like cats, house cats. I feel like I identify the most with house cats because if I could do anything all day, it would be sleeping. But generally speaking, outside of that, I do really enjoy peacocks. I think they're really beautiful. What is my favorite perfume? I really liked this one that American Eagle sold. A friend of mine got me, gosh, like one of those teeny tiny little perfume bottle samples or something it's called Vintage, but I guess it's discontinued. So right now I'm actually wearing Opium by Yves Saint Laurent, but my boyfriend says that I smell like his grandma, so I don't know how long I'll be wearing that, but I'm kind of just playing around until I find something I like. 13 is tea or coffee. Both. I've worked at Starbucks in my lifetime, but at this point I think I'm definitely leaning more towards tea because there are more non-caffeine options, and I'm trying to stay away from caffeine as much as I can. What would you name your children? I've always liked the name Lucy. I've always liked the idea of Lucy Jane. For a boy, I always kind of thought about Cody. I also really like Athena, things that are a little bit more older, a little classic. That's kind of the vibe that I like. I also weirdly like Samuel, but who knows. What sports have you played? I was always in non-contact sports. I never played anything with a ball, really. I was a figure skater for a while. I was a gymnast for a while, a dancer, of course. Yeah, I think that's really it. Oh, and I was a cheerleader, but non-competitive. It was mostly a dance sort of thing. What is your favorite book? I love this question. My favorite book is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Who are some of your favorite YouTubers? Gosh, that's a rough question. I don't know. I look forward to watching Tati a lot now, and of course, Simply No Logical. One YouTuber that I really like, Craftastic. I actually did get the opportunity to meet her and have lunch with her a couple of years ago because we lived in the same area. We both live in Cleveland. So that was a really great opportunity to just kind of sit down and talk with her and, you know, have an experience that a lot of people otherwise wouldn't have. So shout out to Sarah. Thanks for meeting with me. It was really a great time. What's my favorite movie? Mean Girls? I like to think that I'm basic in that, right? Am I single or taken? I am taken. I have been in a relationship with my boyfriend for almost 2 years now. We met my freshman year of college and his sophomore year of college, and right now he is back at home working for a little bit while I'm finishing my degree. What's my idea of an ideal first date? I'm a very low-key person. I like dinner just because there can be a lot of talking and it's a lot more intimate. And how many girlfriends or boyfriends have I had? Serious ones? Probably 3. The next one is a favorite memory from childhood, and this isn't really a favorite memory, but it's a story that I actually weirdly enjoy telling. So a couple of years ago, my mother actually, she was mowing the lawn on one of those tractor mowers, and we had a volleyball net set up in our backyard because we had a really large backyard at the time. And as she was driving alongside the volleyball net, she got her earring caught in the net and it actually yanked out of her ear as the mower was going. So her ear was kind of like almost half ripped off in a way. It wasn't like dangling or disgusting or anything, but it was definitely bleeding a little bit. So I kept trying to tell her like weird confessions about stupid things that I had done when I was little to kind of keep her mind off of it. And now I told her this story and it was like a huge joke. So when I was little, I'm talking like 3 or 4, there was at one point, I was in my room playing before dinner, and there was a Tic Tac that I saw on the floor, a little like mint green Tic Tac, and I looked at it and I thought, wow, I really like Tic Tacs and I could eat that right now. So I picked the Tic Tac off the floor and, hi kitty, no. So I picked the Tic Tac up off the floor and I ate it. I put it in my mouth, and not 1 second after I put this Tic Tac in my mouth, my grandmother was downstairs calling me for dinner, but all she did was she yelled my name. So me, being 3 and afraid of getting in trouble, thought that my grandmother was calling me down to yell at me because she knew about the Tic Tac. Because you know how they always say your parents have eyes in the backs of their heads? Yeah, I really thought that she knew I had eaten that Tic Tac and she was about to yell at me, and I was horrified. And I sat all through dinner like this because I thought she was going to yell at me for eating a Tic Tac off the floor. I don't know why that story has always stuck with me, but it really does. Do you speak any different languages, and how well? Puedo hablar en español un poco, pero no soy muy fluentemente. Do I have any siblings? Yes, I have one younger sister. How would you describe your fashion sense? I would say classic. What is my favorite restaurant? Oh gosh. I don't know. I really like sushi. What are some of my favorite TV shows? Friends, How I Met Your Mother. I'm really into Riverdale right now. I watch a lot of Family Guy and South Park. PC or Mac? PC. I've never owned an Apple product in my life. It's not because I don't want to or I think they're horrible. I just haven't, and I'm perfectly happy with not having one. What phone do you have? I have an Android. I would show it to you if that's not what I filmed on. Last one is tell us one of your bad habits. I don't actually know so much on this one. I think probably that I just sleep a little too often. I tend to prioritize taking a nap in the day before getting my work done. I feel like no one ever really wants to talk about the things that they are bad at or bad things that they do, especially to an audience. But I guess maybe I would even toss out so much that I'm a little lazy, in that if something's taking longer than it should, I kind of start to, I always call it working smarter, not harder, but sometimes I let things slip through the cracks a little bit and I don't put as much effort or time into something as I really should have, unless it's something that I'm really passionate about. So I guess that's all I have for you today. Thanks so much for listening to me talk about myself, and leave a comment down below and tell me something interesting about you. I'm not going to say fun fact because I know fun facts can be the worst and super anxiety inducing when in icebreakers and whatnot, but I do want to know a little bit more about you guys, so drop that in the comments below and I'll be sure to take a read of all those. So thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for a craft video coming up soon. See ya.